Hey, what's happening, guys? Mike Moo here. So there's an air cleaner that I use personally day to day in my just in my home, all right, or work area, in a kitchen. It's actually really good, and I actually move it around into the house sometimes when the need arises. Well, as you know, right now it's spring. There is a lot of pollen around where we're at least in LA, and that can result in a lot of breathing problems for certain people. Luckily, I'm not one of those that is highly sensitive to this group. My wife is, and my mom is, and at least one of my brothers are. So they all have to deal with it in their own way. One thing that has worked out well for me is an air cleaner by a company called AirDog. Now, I'm going to point you out to this link down below because the reason why I'm making this video is that I found out that AirDog makes a smaller, made for like a bedroom size air cleaner, of basically a small version of what my favorite one is right now, which is the AirDog X5. They also make a bigger version, X8, but I'm going to focus on something called the X3. Now, the X3 is licensed by phonesoap, and they sell their product as the Airsoap. All right. I'm looking at the product page right now, and the big deal that I'm talking about this right now is because there is a coupon code. All right, please use my link down below. It's an affiliated link with phonesoap, but use the coupon code SPRING25 and you get 25% off of everything that phonesoap sells. And that's a pretty significant discount because they haven't done that in a really long time. Whether it's a pandemic or whatever reason it is, their products have been out of stock a lot. So Airsoap is basically the X3. It's a smaller brother of my favorite air cleaner. And what is special about this is that it is, one, cheap to operate, two, the HEPA filtration, the better than HEPA filtration is a patented technology that is available exclusively on these designs here, all right, that which phonesoap has licensed, all right? So they sell the smaller model, and it is proven to kill 99.9% of airborne viruses, and you don't have to replace the filters. The filters are actually completely washable. Sure, it depends on how dirty your home is, will dictate how often you got to wash it. But I basically pull out my collection plates, throw it in the dishwasher, and let it dry out, and then I'm good to go. And that's a heck of a lot better than spending $50 on a new set of HEPA filters every couple of months. Well, it depends on how dirty your places that you're cleaning, right? All right, so this is I'll just share with you the different collection plates that we have going on, and how this stuff all works, and how it's able to do so effectively and clean better than a lot of the higher priced air cleaners. All right, now this is not the most cheapest, most budget option. I want you to be aware that you can actually simply just get a box fan, throw on one of those air filters for the whole house, just tape it on, make sure there's a good seal, and boom, you got a pretty good air filtration system. Sure, it's gonna be loud, it could be efficient, but you gotta turn it up on maximum heat, and it just creates a huge amount of sound. Of course, a lot of it will depend on your box fan, right? So it's not ideal for it, but if you want to go that route, that is absolutely the cheapest. But this guy is quiet, and I really like about that. It ramps up and down in terms of the speed. The way that phonesoap advertises it is it uses electric wind technology. But basically, it's a very efficient fan that's really quiet, and it runs through a high energy plasma field that is created through this mesh, very fine particle mesh that then goes through washable, reusable graphene or metal collection plates that then remove the polarized particles from the air all the way down to 14 nanometers, which is smaller than any virus that we know of. Okay, so it goes through several stages of filtration. Whereas in typical HEPA filtration, you basically have a pre-filter, a carbon filter, and then the HEPA filter. Okay, so that's usually the filtration that happens in a typical HEPA filtration type of device. But this is also super quiet, and I believe that down at, minimum noise level is 33 decibels. which is actually just about as quiet as this room is right now. And the maximum noise level in this little guy is 58 decibels. Now this has a clean air delivery rating. The small one that is sold by phonesoap has a clean air delivery rating of 200 meters cubed per hour. Okay, so it's not going to be for big room sizes. It says it'll handle up to 400 square feet on average. That's pretty much like a smaller room, right? Not a giant living room or a giant family room type of area. You're going to need to buy a couple of these to really filtrate the air around you. Okay, so I haven't tried the X3. I've seen it in person at the Consumer Electronics Show back in 2020. Of course, there wasn't one in 2021. And I looked at the components and the design. It's precisely the same thing as the X5s that I use right now, with minus a couple of features that I don't really care for anyway. Okay, so it doesn't have a Wi-Fi module, and the app never worked on my X5, so I don't really care for that. And I don't believe that it even comes with a remote control to go ahead and adjust things. But the good news is that in the auto mode, it actually sizes up just roughly how many particles in the air and adjusts the fan speed and the cleaning rate for the time. Okay, so it's a little bit delayed, right? As soon as you smell something, well, depends on how far distance your air cleaner and the sensor is from whatever's creating a smell, let's say from the kitchen. It's usually about a minute or two behind. So if you want to manually ramp it up, there's basically a simple one button operation that changes from auto to level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Level 3, and then finally level 4, which is the maximum. That's where you get the full-on 200 clean air delivery rate, 200 clean air delivery rate per cubic meter. Okay, so yeah, I recommend it. And this cell is so good. I just found out about just now, and I ordered one. And I'd suggest you do the same as well. All right, that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I guess I'll share a little bit of footage from my AirDog X5. But keep in mind, this is for the X3. This is the deal for the X3. phonesoap does not sell the X5 or the X8. For those, I will have an Amazon link down below. You should check those out. Basically, the bigger ones are bigger. They clean more air because it's bigger fans, bigger filtration, and the X8 has more features. It has a detachable air cleaner sensor so that you can help alleviate some of the delay in it sensing how dirty the air is. Okay, so that it can ramp up automatically. And it also has a remote control. All right, I don't use the remote control that much. I usually keep it in auto mode, but you know, to put it in sleep mode, it's easier to remote control. Okay, sleep mode makes it basically silent and also turns off the lights. That's all it does. All right, please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you next video. Thanks for watching. So in the AirDogs and the phonesoaps, it sucks in the air from the vents on the side, the back, and the side. It goes through this higher particle filter. It's just a fine little mesh filter that you'll often see on air conditioner units. Right? So this captures the bigger dust, the hair, the dander, you know, things that are relatively bigger particles, and probably a lot of pollen too. Okay, so it goes through that. Then it goes through this plasma generator, ion field generator. These are super fine, super thin, and electrically charged. These then electrically charges the particles, which then goes on to get collected on here, attracted here like a magnet. Okay, so this one here is metal plates. Now the new ones actually use graphene, something super lightweight, but I have the older model, and this one uses metal plates. And so then all the dirty stuff gets attached to these little plates. This is something that you can just take out. I've been throwing in a dishwasher to clean it out completely. That seems to work pretty well. Someone else recommended not doing that. I haven't had any issues in mine, so it could depend on your dishwasher. Don't do it on super hot cycle. Just do a normal cycle, all right? And then at the top, there's another filter up here, which you don't ever need to replace really, but I think it's a carbon filter. This does the final last bit of filtration to make sure nothing actually goes up and out, and then the clean air comes out up top. Now, if you go around the front of the unit, there's actually a set of numbers here that tells you just how much clean air is coming out, or actually how dirty your air is. So it'll go from 0 all the way up to like 300-400, and it'll change colors too depending on how dirty it is. Right now it's off, so you're not going to see the numbers, but it just starts out with green, meaning all good, and then yellow, meaning, well, it's getting a little bit too many particles in the air, and then red is when, oh, okay, seriously, we're going to ramp this up, put it on the maximum setting, and clean out as much as we can. So that's generally what this does.